Strange place for a shrine to Abidan, Crucible Keep. Maybe it made more sense at some point before it gathered all that dust. And the only thing the Knights of the Crucible worship these days is the nobility, as far as I understand it.
You must forgive, Zawa. I was not expecting you. Resting my eyes, I thought, waiting for the Malkachoa to bring me insight. It would seem I dozed. A good thing my master was not alive to see it. Are you real? Of course. I meant no offense, but I find it is best to ask when Malkachoa is involved. A small white mushroom. I have heard it called snowcap in these lands. It can reveal the true nature of many things. A teacher, not an owner. Zawa is a free man. Well, as free as any of us. I was freeing myself from vanity. Consider, how can one be vain who is bathed in the smell of dead fish? I had the idea when I passed this way earlier. I am pleased with the results so far. Yes, quite pleased. From battle, yes. I left them upon my enemies. These were struck against fear, these against pleasure, these against hatred, those down there against greed and doubt, and these were for vanity. I cannot take credit for all of them, but I did most of the good ones. I put them there in battle to remind myself what is real and what is not. Our worst enemies are inventions of the mind, pleasure, fear. When we see them for what they are, we become unstoppable. I feel I have been close, but never for more than an instant. In the moment when the pain is sharpest, the world becomes clear. In that moment, I am a match for anyone. Of course, I am fortunate to have suffered so much. If I did not suffer, I would not aspire to free myself from it. I would wander from one unfulfilling goal to the next. More wealth, a better station. My soul would wither. But to search for a place beyond suffering's reach is to nurture the soul, to harden it against the elements. Suffering is the greatest gift the gods have given us, their most beautiful, perfect creation. It is the hand that turns the wheel. Gods, no. What a way to travel the world. The usual way is to smear yourself with the ashes of the dead. But they do not burn their dead here, so I have to make do with what the land provides. The cold seems to conquer the smell. Even now, the scent hides itself. Disappointing. I was visiting a monastery not far from here. I found it empty, but I met a messenger as I left. He carried a call for aid. Seeing that he would find no monks at the monastery, I chose to go in their place. Zawa is no longer young, but in combat he is still the greatest of the Takan people. It seemed only right that he should go. I would not say I am hired. I seek no wage, and I promise no result. I have chosen a path, and my spoils come from walking it. If one wishes to swim, it is no time to argue with the current. We are here together in this moment because a perfect force has willed it. Who is Zawa to argue? I will walk with you so long as the gods wish it so. So the dwarves of Durgan's battery did not destroy themselves after all. They fell to invaders. We have discovered things thought to be lost. Their influence may yet persist. But we have seen no invaders, and the battery was shut. Did they come only to destroy the dwarves, and then leave?
Blazing cart. What am I supposed to do now?
Hey, you! I need help!
the Watcher of Cadnua. I expected you'd find us eventually.
No offense, but if she's hiring, I'm going with her.
I'm a little more surprised to find you're still carrying that abomination around. I imagine Consulhalt is better company without his tongue. I am Lengroth. As was my predecessor, he too lives on in me. We are all, you see, Lengroth. Lengroth knew something Consulhalt did not. The brevity of life should be embraced, not feared. Each generation brings with it renewed strength and saves us from stagnation. When his time came, Lengroth was willing to let go, to leave his memories and body behind. He entrusted the gift of his life force, his vibrant spirit, to a worthy successor. Consulhalt clung to his pathetic existence like a leech. And there are others like him, who would see all the world serve as kindling, if only their flame can go on burning. Consulhalt's knowledge cannot outlive him. More than that, to ensure it could never be replicated. You yourself could easily have become the latest tool in Consulhalt's efforts to thwart the wheel and place himself beyond the reach of time. He would have used your very essence for fuel. A lesser death than you deserve, I think. But you made it out. In truth, I am glad you came. It saves me the effort of chasing you. Think on it. You must have seen how desperately Kith cling to their lives. What measures they're willing to take to ensure theirs is the consciousness that lingers longest. The phylactery was to be Consulhalt's great triumph over death. All the evil that Kith have done in search of falsehoods would pale in the face of what they will do for the truth. These two? They're quite young, but already appallingly bright. There's no greater aim than to leave behind a lasting legacy, to teach those who will learn.
Lengroth's teachings are interesting. We will strengthen our souls as they do. Morgeth will be our home for eons.
We could simply take it from you. After. Yes, it feels a little macabre for my tastes, like the Stelgar with a hair. Oh, I believe that already. It simply doesn't change anything. You would do that? You and I would be the only Kith in all Eora to understand Consulhalt's work. That would be a heavy secret to carry. It would be very tempting to set it down again. That's usually a worthless expression, but not in your case. Perhaps there is a way. A pact, if you will. If you truly mean to keep the secret of the phylactery to yourself, we can seal the oath with an exchange, a small transfer of soul essence. I would possess a glimpse of your abilities, and you a taste of Lengroth's wisdom. Just that. Nothing untoward, I assure you. Good. Then come closer, and we'll see it done.
Are you different? He smells different.
There, it is done. I hope much good comes from our alliance. To that end, a parting gift. Go in peace, my friend. May the spirit of Lingroth guide you.
A hopeless battle was waged in Durgan's battery. They seemed to know that their deaths had come, yet many fought on. Their bravery was not enough in the end. They might have made great Nalpazga warriors, if only they had been born to Khan. What do you need of Zawa? The ways of the Nalpazga can make little sense to an outsider. We are the warriors of the Takan. Nobles, peasants, it does not matter. We are souls caged in flesh, nothing more. But it is one thing to say it, another to know it. So we train until we know it, or until we meet our ends. I give this answer because it is what you wanted, but the Nalpazga would say different. They would say that we are nothing at all. Perfection. Look around you. The world is perfect. Every being, every moment, every death. Rarely do we see this. We stumble through life, lost in distractions. Every practice of the Nalpazga is a reminder to stop stumbling. to know the perfection. You think the world imperfect? Most would agree. Most would say the world is imperfect because we suffer. They imagine a world without suffering and dream of living there, and suffer all the more for it. This is their mistake. The world is perfect. It was created by a boundless wisdom. It is for us to learn why a perfect world requires that we suffer. Vanity is a snare that roots us to the ground. The way we see ourselves, the way others see us, these things are not real. They cannot be touched. The Nalpazga teachings reveal many such snares: fear, pleasure, doubt, hatred. They hold us back if we let ourselves be caught. Then you see only what is truly there, and you suffer no longer. You become as a god, seeing things as they do. If you can loose yourself from the snares, then you are free. I meet people on the road, and they pity me. I have come to find it endearing. They see so many scars, and they wonder, how can the man beneath not be broken? A scar is a wound that heals, a living reminder of our power over suffering. They cause no pain, only the echo of pain, which cannot hurt you. Show me a scarred man, and I will show you a man who can overcome. The Malkachoa? At any time, it is rare that I have not eaten some. When you first try it, it seems a beautiful fantasy. You see colors you have never seen, meet creatures that are not there. With practice, you see that all it does is show you reality, the essence of all things, how they are alike and connected. I have watched trees grow and wilt before me. I have tasted meat and known the animal's life as if it were mine. But the Malkachoa often causes the stomach to empty with great violence, so it is not for everyone. If I did not suffer, I would not aspire to free myself from it. I would wander from one unfulfilling goal to the next, more wealth, a better station. My soul would wither. But to search for a place beyond suffering's reach is to nurture the soul, to harden it against the elements. Suffering is the greatest gift the gods have given us, their most beautiful, perfect creation. I would gladly cast light upon them. You would ask much of one who knows little. Most Takan have two choices. They can grow crops, or they can become Nalpazga warriors. I was the youngest of 5, a dreamer. The Nalpazga were always in my thoughts. They did not feel the same about me. 3 times I tried to join their ranks. 3 times I was refused. All that time spent dreaming, and I had not thought to prepare. I was lazy, uncoordinated, overweight. If they had not refused me, what shame I might have brought to them. They had no choice. Our high priestess had a vision. Malkachoa, plus some other shit, knowing her. No one put on a better ceremony than she did. She saw me as chieftain, leading a host of Nalpazga warriors to victory over our enemies, the Kachmatl. Our last chieftain had died over the winter. A new one had not yet arisen from the Nalpaska. So the timing was right. The next day they brought me before Ishipilo, the great master of the Nalpaska, and I became his pupil. I still trained with the other instructors, sparred and meditated with my Nalpaska brothers and sisters. I learned from all of them. But learning from Ishipilo was a chieftain's privilege. He knew the secrets that could grant mastery over reality, invincibility in combat. When a Nalpaska was deemed a worthy successor to a chieftain, greater than all his peers, Ishipilo would take him in, prepare him for the future. I would not be as I am now without his lessons. Not all of them. When I was brought to him, I knew how unworthy I was. But if he disapproved, he never showed it. In my shame, I gave him everything I had. He tutored me for 7 years, and in that time I became greater than the rest. Then the day came when he was to teach me the final secret of the Anitle. This is the unbeatable warrior all Takan chieftains must become to protect our people. Ishipilo never showed. I found him in his study, meditating, or perhaps staring off. I couldn't say. "Master," I said, "is it time for me to learn to be the Anitle?" "Not yet," he said. And that was all. He never gave me another lesson. A year later, he was dead of old age. They named me chieftain, anyway. I thought so as well. I tried everything. Patience, rage, cleverness, acceptance. "Not yet," he would say. "Not yet." At any time, 2 people know the secret of becoming the Anitle, the chieftain and the master of the Nalpaska. When Ishipilo died, the knowledge was lost to us forever. Have I? You would ask much of one who knows little. Word of Ishipilo's death spread. Our enemies saw the opportunity. The Ketchmodel chieftain came with gifts to honor my rule, but his real purpose was to look me in the eye, to know if Zawa might be beaten. I looked at him, and I imagined that I was the Anitle, free of all the worldly snares, that my master had taught me everything. When he turned to leave, I saw he wore a secret smile, and I knew I had failed. 3 days later, they attacked. They were many times greater than our numbers. They had been trying to conquer us for generations, and the Takan chieftain had always sent them running. The power of the Anitle. In my heart, I knew we would lose, and it would be because I was not the Anitle. What we had always done. I gathered my Nalpaska warriors and led a charge into the belly of their army. The Nalpaska believed Zawa was the Anitle, and it gave them strength. For their sakes, for Takan, I believed it too. My mind found a place it had never reached before. I could see my enemies' moves before they made them. I could see my own actions in front of me, the path to victory. I did as I saw, and the Ketchmodel fell in heaps. And then the Ketchmodel chieftain came to face me, and he knew Zawa was not the Anitle. When I saw him, I knew it too. I hesitated. My enemies fell upon me. One by one, the Nalpaska were defeated, and Takan was conquered. Of the men, they made slaves. Of the women, they made wives. Their way is to absorb the conquered, make them forget themselves. They take you alive if you are a chieftain. They break your body and your spirit. Then they show you to their people and to yours, broken. After that, they cut off your head so that they may drink your soul from it. Oh no, they did all of those things to me. They flayed me until my screams became whispers, until I no longer knew who I was, and my only hope was to die soon. But they didn't stop, and that was their mistake. In my lowest moment, I released my grip on many worldly things I had come to embrace since my master's death. The pain made the world clear again. They brought me out to be executed, not knowing any better. They swung the machete down upon my neck, but it would not cleave. Each hack of the knife brought great pain, and the pain showed me glimpses of pure truth. For a moment at a time, I was the Anitle. I broke my bonds by seeing beyond them. I slew my executioner by knowing I would slay him. No. When the pain faded, so did my enlightenment. But it was enough to make my escape. I swore to return when my soul was ready to defeat the Quetzalcoatl, when I had rediscovered my master's lost secrets. No. I searched my empty homeland for any trace of Ishipilo's knowledge, but I knew he had left none. It would have been too dangerous. When that failed, I began searching the land to see if knowledge of the Anitle had come from abroad. I visited temples and monasteries. All the while, Zawa was trying to find the answer within himself as well. Meditation, Malkachoa, 1,000 practices he had learned as Nalpazga or dreamed on his own. He becomes nearer to the Anitle every day, but his soul is not free. He is not the Anitle. The final step is the difference between invincibility and certain failure. A catch model has only grown over time, swallowed all its rivals. It would take no less than the Anitle to free and protect the Takan now. Then the Takan will be no worse off than they are now. But they do deserve better. You would ask much of one who knows little. We hail from the same place, do we not? At least to outsiders who do not understand how vast Ishimitl is, how different from one moment to the next. The Ishimitl that the Khan know is rich in soil and water. The crops seem to grow in front of you. We build our homes along the Aki River, and it is good to us. Though every so often it floods, so that the Khan do not forget their suffering. It would not be the rainy season without my neighbor Esley swimming after his escaped goats and nearly drowning. But home is an idea, no more real than justice or honor. My home is here now, wherever I stand. I hope to share knowledge with the monks of the 1,000 Dreams. Their monastery lies east of here. They are said to be seekers of greater truth, like the Nalpazga. But if they still exist, I did not find them there.